Hello, this is Godel. Welcome back to Feed the Beast Interactions Remastered. Last time we set up our fusion reactor, and I had it making some Starlight coolant plasma for a decent amount of time here. We got 8,000 buckets overnight. Pretty good amount, I would say. And we did actually run out of helium. That was a little bit of a problem. But I added some gassy chickens, and then I sent chickens eggs, the gassy chicken eggs, instead of being centrifuged over here with our old logistic pipe setup, which, as you can see, I've also cleaned this up as well. There's a lot less things here. I've moved, what was over here? Biomass distillation is now being done in that distillation tower over there that I made for Naquita processing. And I might move some of these things as well. Just instead of having them running constantly the uh, on the passive production, we could just have them at this point be on demand with our more powerful machines, and then we don't really need this. Probably save us a little bit of base lag not having these logistic pipes visually or otherwise pumping items around. And I've removed a bunch of the pipes that we no longer need. But anyways, our fuel processing did pretty well. We have 822 buckets of Naquita fuel at the moment, and currently we have a slight bottleneck with the enriched Naquita because I was making enriched Naquita and it was costing more power to make the enriched Naquita to turn into the fuel than our generator was able to output. So it was like, oh boy, okay, we need to sort out our power production very soon, and I think the time to sort it out is now. Also, I was looking at Starlight Coolant Plasma. So Starlight Coolant Plasma, once we run it through the generator, we get half of the liquid helium back, which is exactly how much we put into it because the Starlight Coolant Plasma is half liquid helium. It is a little odd that we get liquid helium back and not helium gas. Like we put in the super cold 1 Kelvin Starlight Coolant Plasma, and then we get something that's 4 Kelvin back. Like I'd maybe expect it to be a little warmer, but that's okay. Instead of having to reprocess the liquid helium and cool it down, we can just, we can just recycle this in our fusion reactor. So anyways, I have put together the stuff that we need to make a few of these LUV diesel generators. We are ready to go with these. We have the Starlight Coolant Plasma. We have our NAC fuel. And yeah, we are ready to build these out. And I didn't actually build the space to put them. I wanted to put them over here. Let me break out a little bit more of this wall right here. Make sure our drill is set to a reasonable size. That we don't, like, destroy anything else we have built over here. Alright. Whoa, that was close to breaking that. What is this again? This is our tree farm line, right? Yeah, okay. Okay, so there we go. We have some extra space. And to actually build the LUV diesel generator, when you look at the model, it actually has a bottom layer below the controller that has these flame firebox casings. But I was thinking to just build it one into the ground, and that's going to leave a slot in the top open where we can be able to access the pipe up there. That's where the output is, where the liquid helium is going to come out. So that is what I am thinking. So yeah, without further ado, I made another kit here, so LUV diesel generator set, and that just makes it makes one of these, and then it makes the appropriate dynamo hatch and all that fun stuff. So we are ready to go. I have all the stuff in my inventory, so let me go ahead and put this bad boy together. Okay, and I don't think there's like... I wish there was a way where you could like feed it items. We can't use the GregTech console on this, right? I think that's very not likely. Nope, it does not recognize this machine, of course, so that was kind of to be expected. As far as the wall sharing, because of the odd shape of, mostly because of the odd shape of this overhang here, and then if we go up into the overhang, so this part here is not, it's not tungsten frame boxes, it is actually the robust tungsten steel machine casing. So we can't really put these machines next to each other. The best we can do is kind of have them sharing the edge of this tungsten box. Okay, so it's not literally the best. The best we could do is have them be something like this, where they are sharing a bunch of frame boxings and then a few casings and one of the coils. But I was like, man, we're just saving like cheap materials at this point. Tungsten's kind of a cheap material, right? So we're just saving cheap materials. I'm just not going to worry about it. So we are instead going to worry about just kind of saving space by having them together like so. So you can see here those two frame box casings are gonna share space, but that's kind of it without being a big hassle. So all right, let's go ahead and put these guys together though. So I'm going to, there we go. I think we can go to layer 2 now, and I'm just gonna build these both at the same time. It's not showing over here, but this block back here is the dynamo hatch. So I'm gonna put my 16 amp dynamo LUV hatch, which should be able to produce, we should be able to extract all of the power from here because these should be making 1 amp of UV, which is going to be 4 amps of ZPM or 16 amps of this stuff. Also, we don't need this setup anymore at the moment, because this has been like running nonstop. I don't even have the other side of this receiver hooked up on the power substation to turn that off. It's just been running nonstop because we've needed it running nonstop. All right, let's put our fluid input hatches here. So one thing, fueling these might be a little bit of a challenge because we have to put fuel into both of them and they're not sharing the hatches. So we'll have to make sure we don't like accidentally put all of our fuel into the same one. Hello, I was not done looking at the preview. Thank you. All right, just building these layer by layer, building them at the same time. Probably once I have one of these built, I can use the copy paste module and get a copy of it, and then we will be able to build more in the future if/when we want more. Okay, so this is going to come all, whoops, forgot those do that. You have to shift right click for them to build properly. Oh, this is not a frame casing though. That has to be a robust casing there. These two are robust. Frame casing in between, and then just finish off this layer. All right, there we go. And then the last layer is going to be, nope, it's not the last layer, but it's close to the last layer. We're going to put titanium coils up here. And then the output hatch. Same for up there. So yeah, this is like just titanium and tungsten steel. I don't care that strongly about sharing materials and saving a little bit of tungsten and titanium. Like we've got enough of the stuff, right? All right, there we go. So those should be fully assembled. Yep, there they go. So now all we have to do is start putting fuel into them. And it should be good to go. So as far as putting fuel, I would like to kind of have them get fuel evenly. If I use the GPS, they will get fuel evenly. So I'm thinking just to use that. Let's go ahead and take these guys out of here so these generators stop receiving fuel, and then let me collect all of the fuel as well. This is fuel definitely we do not want to let get destroyed because it's very expensive fuel. All right, and then let's collect the fuel from the other side. Our power is going to survive for, it should be able to survive actually for a decent while without any power production here. Let me see how much it can survive for. Waiting for the fuel to run out. All right, there we go. Yeah, so we've got 12 hours of power. Shouldn't be that much though. 14 hours, 12 hours. These are empty, right? Yep, okay. Well, they're not generating any more power. Alright, let's go ahead and pick up our old generators. Make way for the new. I'm gonna need some inventory space here. Let me clear these GPSs. Alright, and then let's take apart. Yeah, we can go ahead and hit the robust machine blocks. Alright, there we go. All taken apart. Ooh, tiny piles of ashes. That is quite a lot of ashes. Let me just put that in our trash can here. Oh, task complete, apparently. Okay. Okay, I don't want to trash that. I don't want to trash the glass either. I was just sticking it in there for a second. Okay, let's put away those pieces. Alright, good stuff. Put our extra fuel back. Alright, so now we need to plug in our new generators. So that's just going to go there and there. These generators, I believe, are set to run only when there is room to accept an entire tick of power in the output hatch, so we don't really need to throttle them. And as far as I know, you can't throttle this anyways with like redstone controls, so we're kind of stuck being able to do what it can do regardless. So let's go ahead and send fuel over to them. As far as sending fuels, let me think. We could put an ender hatch cover. That might be a good idea. We haven't really made those. Ender cover. These guys, these basically make tanks act like an ender tank. My only question is, can it work with tanks that are different sizes? So let me look this up really quick. Ender fluid link cover. And let's see. Okay, I'm seeing some stuff that they might not work. Maybe let me test if it works first before we make them. And then I'm also going to test if it works on different size tanks, because I don't want to have it on. I don't want to have a bunch of quantum tanks with Naquata fuel in them. So let me spawn one in and we'll give it a test. So we'll stick one here. The color is set to FFFFF. Oh, and it can import or export mode. Okay, so I have a feeling this will work then. And then if we put a, let's get like a drum. Yeah, aluminum drum, like a small liquid storage tank. And stick that on there. It is also set to FFFFFFF. And we have it set to import, and IO mode disabled. Okay, so IO mode enabled. And then here, IO mode enabled. Okay, importing, exporting. Can't help but notice that's not actually exporting. Do we have to, like, push the fluid into that hatch cover side or something? Nope. Okay. Well, good thing we tested this, because, yeah, it does not actually seem to be working. So, let's see, we have it set... Oh, wait a second. Import? Oh, here we go. It's importing from the tank. From the cover, and then exporting from the cover. Ah, there we go. Okay, so it does work. Alright, let's automate those and make a few. So Ender... Is there a random extruder there? I know why, but it's just funny to see there. We are going to go ahead and make this. This is an assembler, correct? Alright, assembler, multi-block P2P. And then, do we have the Ender Link stuff we need for those? We need processor assembly. What needs processor assembly in here? Is it the sensors? It is the sensors. go down here and fix our sensor recipe. There we go. All right, now it should work. Ender link to Ender Pearl plates. Okay, those should be easy to make. Ender Pearl plates in a block of Ender Pearl in a cutting machine. Okay, and then block of Ender Pearl, I'm guessing, is just in a compressor. Yep. All right, so compress, and then cutting, and then Ender Pearl link, Ender link. And those should craft up pretty quickly. Seeing what all it's doing over here. Alright, well, yep, those were quick. Alright, and then these go straight in the trash. Because I already made 2 of them. Alright, and then I guess over here, if I wanted, I can set this to export. So that's going to export from the link cover. And this is going to pull the stuff out of this tank. Okay. So if I have this set on import... Wait, where did it go? If I have this set on import, and then I break both of these covers, does that delete my fluid, or is my fluid still on the FFF channel? It's still on the FFF channel. Okay, cool. Alrighty then. So I think that's going to do what we want. So we are going to go ahead and import on this side. And let's change the channel here. I suppose this doesn't have a color picker. Input colors are complete. It'll be applied once all hex digits. Closing GUI will lose digits. No, it sure did. Okay. Do we have any on this side? So this one's still on FFF. If I change this to FFF, does it move the fluid with it? No, so the fluid is still on the FFF, and now it's on the FFA. Okay, let's export from here. Let's go back to FFF. And then, I don't know what color we even want to have this. I don't want to make it something complicated, so let's just go, let's just do 0, 0, 0. Whoa, way too long of a string. 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. Does that work? It's just number 1? 1. That doesn't seem to be the same channel here. Import. Okay, I guess you have to put the zeros. That's kind of annoying, though. Maybe I will have it set to 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1. Nope, still cutting off the leading zeros. Let's just do 1 with 7 zeros. How about that? That will be easy to remember, and then we can just start adding numbers if we use more of these. I can see the spaghetti going crazy with this. Anyways, we're going to import into here, and here we are going to not do anything, because we need to go put this somewhere first. So we can put it over here. I don't think we can put these covers directly. No, we can't put the covers on those input hatches, so we can put this here. We can now change this to... And when we hit enter, we should suck fuel into here. When we enable it, it should start sucking fuel into our tank. Can't help but notice our tank's not getting any fluid, unless it's filling up the hatches here. Nope, these are both still empty. Okay, what's the problem now? Importing. Oh, we need to export from the cover, right? There we go. Okay, there we go. So there's quite a lot of fuel over here. Maybe I want. Let me go get a. Let me go get a smaller tank. How about that? So drum is our smallest thing we can use. I guess bronze drum is the smallest kind of tank we can make. So let me automate bronze drums really quick. Also, we can use them for fluid poppers and MV. Input hatches and output hatches if we ever want those. Okay, we're just going to use the hammer recipe. Bronze plate. Bronze rod. Bronze ingot? Okay, we at least have bronze ingot automated. Alright, bronze rod is going to come from the extruder. Out of patterns, darn. Pattern. And where are our patterns? They're like all the way at the bottom? What the heck, man? Okay, bronze rod. Bronze plate is metal bender with the circuit. Okay, bend C1. And rod extrude. I ended up having a lot of rod extruding recipes. So far, anyways. Okay, and now we can do drum. And get a bronze drum. Nice. Okay, so here's our bronze drum. Oh, quest complete. Wow. Where's that quest? In here? Steel drum is next. I don't think we have a steel drum. Oh well. Okay. Over here we go. I'm going to... Okay, so I need to get the fluid out, so I'm going to set this to import. And then I'm going to set this one to export. Now I'm going to set it back to import. This tank over here should be empty. Swap it out for the smaller tank. Set the frequency. And then export. Okay, there we go. That's better. Now we don't just have like 100 buckets of this fluid sitting over here, and it's kind of a lot of this fluid. Like, this is dense fuel. Alright, lastly, all we need to do now is hook up the starlight. Let's do the same thing for starlight. Like, why not? Drum. Let's make... We're going to need 3 drums for this one, and then we're going to need link cover. 3 of these guys. Alright, and then... Me discovers new technology. Also me using the technology everywhere now. Okay, so this is going to go drum. Right here we're going to have one. And so this needs to be set to export. Enabled, and then we need to set the frequency for liquid starlight. Let's just do 1001. I probably should have set the frequency before I set that, just in case like I broke something, you know? So set my frequency first. There we go. See, look, I put the wrong number in, and I would have pumped knack fuel in there, and that would have been a disaster. All right, now we can enable export. And then we're going to need to get our fuel out of here. So it's in a black hole tank at the moment. Let's just set a basic pump up for now. So 1, import enabled, and then let me grab a pump. The pump is going to be fine for this. And import. There we go. Now that should be being sent to our generators. Should be, if I had any clue what I'm talking about. Can you not import from the bottom of the black hole tank or something? What's going on here? Let me disable IO. Yeah, it's not pulling anything from the tank for some reason. Hello? Import. Tank is set to allow connection on the bottom. Not really sure what's happening here. Where's my crowbar? Import? Nothing, huh? Why is that not working? Alright, let's try a different side of the tank, maybe? I don't know. Import. Buddy, what? It's not able to, like, import from the black hole tank. How about from the top? Import. Nope. Okay. So it's just, and I don't think Super Tank's gonna work either, because Super Tank's basically the same as a drum. It's just a higher tech version of a drum, right? Import? Oh, wait, that's working now. What the heck? I'm confused. Okay, well. Anyways, my confusion doesn't really matter, I guess. Let's do what we need to do with this one then. Okay, so we need to go to color 1001, and then we are going to enable. There we go. That should now be going over to our generators. Export enabled. Oh, wait, I know what the problem is. I know what the problem is. This is not a... Hold on, where's my fluid? Okay, it's in the cover here. Stop exporting for a second. Or stop importing. The problem is, I forgot bronze drum cannot handle cryogenics. The only... So aluminum drum can't even handle cryogenics either. Yeah, so I would have to use a stainless steel drum to handle cryogenics. Okay. Super tanks. Super tanks I don't want to use because they're too big, but I suppose super tanks can also hold that. Okay, so if I want to use drums for this, I need to use that. Okay, I might just do a GPS then because I don't want a bajillion gallons of liquid starlight all over the place. Oh, let me put my what's it called back into the tank here because it's still on the frequency, I believe, right? Yeah, okay, let's import this back into the tank. Export, I mean, back into the tank. Give the tank a second to push that back into the super tank, the black hole tank. So let's just use wireless nodes for the coolant, I guess. Or I could just, like, pipe it over there manually, but eh. Wireless transfer node. Wireless transfer node. Oh, this requires astral sorcery thingamabobu. Ugh. It also requires steel drum. I guess we're going to automate steel drum now. I mean, definitely I'm going to want these automated. Long steel rod, we do not have automated. Let's make those. Let's go ahead and make a steel drum really quick so I can grab one and complete the quest. Why not? And then wireless transfer node. Okay, so for wireless transfer node, we need shifting stars, and these are annoying to craft because they require buckets of starlight. So you can't just craft a bunch in one big crafting recipe. Um, could do the packaged astral, to be honest, the packaged astral table. Packaged astral. We could do the packaged celestial altar. We would need to make a packaged starlight package crafting altar. Yeah, we could do this. Can you still do normal crafting on this, or do you have to have like a dedicated setup? I am not entirely sure. Seems like a lot though. Maybe I'm just gonna go make a handful of shifting stars. Shifting. I do have the recipe here to make them. Shifting star. Just the stuff here. Shifting star. Let me see what this makes. Oh, it doesn't take the bucket though. Why don't I have regular bucket of starlight in here? And then bucket of starlight we can get with um We can use the canning machine to make that. So Starlight plus bucket is going to equal, I guess I'm going to need to make one manually really quick. Starlight. All right, so there is a bucket of Starlight recipe, and that goes in the, hold on a second. That is not what I told you to make. I guess I need to encode it in here specifically. Bucket of Starlight, please. Thank you. There it goes. Jeez, that was kind of weird. Canning machine. There we go. So Starlight bucket, if I want to make like 4 of them. Okay, knows how to make it. Good. All right, put our shifting star back in here. Let's make like I have too much stuff in my inventory. Let me clear out some stuff here. Okay, let's make like 8 shifting stars. Shifting 8. So that's just going to take a second to whip all that stuff together. I mean, it should be really quick. There's nothing in here that's super difficult to make. I guess the aquamarine takes the longest out of all that stuff. All right, grab all of this stuff. Gonna go up to our altar. All right, did you know I would like to make some of... Where the heck is it? Shifting stars. There we go. I was in the wrong tab. All right, let's go ahead and hit it with that and speed it up. Oh, great. These don't stack either. Let's see if we can finish all of these within one... what's it called? One time in a bottle. I keep pressing the wrong button, though. That's not helping. Ah, well. That's our last one. Okay. 8 shifting stars made. We have those for if we need them. Wireless node. Fluid transfer node. Fluid node? Did we not automate the recipe? Fluid transfer node. Yeah, we must not have automated it. Okay. Good job, me. Can we make IA of redstones? Yep, we do have that automated. Alright, so transfer node. Go ahead, and now we can make them. Yay. Alright. And I guess I'm going to need a GPS as well for this one. I'm going to need multiple GPSs. So for every one of these that we're going to have stuff pumping into our stuff. Oh, also we can automatically output from a black hole tank. How do you do that again? I think you need to make industrial... You need to make something that goes in... Oh, wait. No, it doesn't have those slot upgrades in here. Can we make one then? Upgrade? What are they called? Industrial... They're these things, add-ons. So the fluid transfer add-on. I think I made one before for something else. Yeah, can you put this in here? Nope. Okay, so we need to get the starlight out of there ourselves as well. So let's just move this right here, and let me get a cryogenic pipe. Stainless steel tiny pipe. I know those are cryogenic friendly because that's what we use for our liquid oxygen, or what we were using for liquid oxygen, which we don't even need anymore. Do we need liquid oxygen for anything else? No, not even a little bit, unless we make rocket fuel, which I don't think we need any more of, so... I'm probably just gonna go ahead and pick up this entire vacuum freezer setup then. See ya! And let me just stick this on here, and then I can vein mine the whole thing. I don't think we can vein mine these cables, right? Oh, we can. Okay, cool. Oh, hey, wouldn't you look at that? There's a fluid transfer node here that we could have used. Alright, clear this GPS. Oh yeah, you gotta clear them in the air. So clear you, and clear you. And, oh, there's one more. Clear you. Okay. cleared all those guys out. Let me put these things that we can't use away. I do need a pump. I think I just had a pump and I just put it away. Oh well. Happens. So we are going to import into this pipe. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. What was that? Is plasma a different kind of fluid? Fluid pipe. Can handle all plasmas. Oh. So that's why the other tank wasn't accepting it. In fact, if we go back to drums, none of these drums can handle plasma, so good thing we didn't stick with the drum technique. Okay. So let's see. Tiny fluid pipe, and then something that can handle plasma. Geranium we don't have. I saw Naquita is going to be a good option, I guess, probably. So neutronium, absolutely not. Naquita, tungsten can also handle it, but honestly we have more Naquita, so I'm just going to go with Naquita. Yeah, okay, so let's just go with Naquita pipe. We do not have a Naquita plate. Now we do. Okay, and I'm going to get a saw. Yank. Alright, there we go. Okay. Fixed that issue. That was kind of a funny issue. I didn't expect that to happen. Import. And we should be good this time, right? And this pipe probably hurts to touch. I mean, it does have plasma in it. It's one Kelvin plasma, but it is plasma nonetheless. Okay, and then now we just need to set these GPSs to the input hatches that we want them to go in. Let's drum out of here. So there's one. At this point, like, what is the difference between using this drum and that thing over there? I don't know. It was different. I might just change the fluid to also deliver via GPS. So, I don't know, man. Alright, get our second GPS there for the coolant hatch. Now just toss these in here, and our generator should start running. How much power? How did we do on power? Still have 15 hours of power left. Yeah, I wasn't even close. Wasn't even close. Alright, there it goes. And I can put this way down here. Like, 100 should be fine. Alright, there we go. They are running, and they are already full. What is going on here? Oh, disable limit. You can't take that much power out at a time. There we go. So they are running, and we are getting the liquid helium back out in the top. We are going to need to pump that out. My face one, I did not make a way to get the liquid helium out. I guess we could use liquid helium is a cryogenic. We could use the drums for that one. The aluminum drums. Wait, no. Which drums can handle cryogenics? Yeah, so we would need to make some stainless steel drums. Let's do it. I'm going to commit to the bit with these Enderlink covers some way. Because I don't want to have, like, a bajillion fluid link covers. That's going to be silly. Not fluid link covers. Fluid transfer nodes on top of those. That would, in fact, be silly. So let's automate a third type of barrel this episode. Stainless. I know we have... Okay, we have stainless steel. We have stainless steel long rods already, so then we should just be able to grab 2 of these. That's how many generators we have right now. Alrighty. Let us... Maybe we should figure out like a yellowish color for this. Where was this going before? So I turned the fusion reactor off because I stopped generating stuff. Let's go ahead and grab... First of all, we don't need liquid helium for anything else, right? Liquid helium? No, it's only used in the vacuum freezer. So we can get rid of this storage bus. Let's put Starlight back in our interface. This is how I paused the process earlier. And then I guess technically I could fluid link cover directly into the input hatch if I wanted to. Do I want to do that? It's a little spaghetti. Like when I change my reactor up, it's gonna be not good. Okay. This is alpha, right? So ARGB. How do you make a yellow? Give me like a yellow for liquid helium. Not liquid helium, yellow ARGB. What would a yellow ARGB color code be? So it'd be red and green. Duh, I should have known that. So we could do something like... No, I'm not going to use something complicated. What am I doing? Like if I did FFAOAO00, like that is kind of a... It's kind of a yucky looking yellow, isn't it? Anyways, I'm not going to have that be something I have to type over and over. Let's just go back to using 1. So this is going to be exporting on the side. Let me set up these drums first. Good job. That is not where that goes. Here, I can actually climb up on the scaffolding because the scaffolding works like a ladder. Then I can do this, and then I can get in that hatch. There we go. Okay, and here we can... we can set this to import and go. All right, and then over here, do the same thing. I don't know what hurt me. I guess I must have pushed my head into the ceiling there. 10001, import, go. Okay, there we go. And now we just come back over here and we tell this hatch over here. This is Starlight. Okay, we tell this one over here, export. And that should turn our reactor on, right? Oh, we have to tell it enable as well. Export, enable. Ooh, nice. Okay, so those are feeding straight into our reactor. Cool. That is pretty neat. You know, I guess if we wanted to, instead of feeding Starlight over here, we could use a link cover from our Starlight tank over there. Oh, wait, but that's not a Starlight tank. That's a black hole tank now. How much Starlight do we have over there? Our Starlight setup is going crazy with how fast it makes Starlight. 240 buckets. 240,000 buckets, sorry, excuse me. Wrong unit of measurement by a lot. Alright, well, we are now producing power like it is nobody's business. Look at all that power we're producing. 524,000 EU per tick times 2. It's crazy. Our fusion reactor should be keeping up with it, no problem. In fact, I think it'll be outproducing it a little bit, so... that's fine, though. Let's look at our... Ah, yes. Full in 34 minutes. That's what we like to see. But now that that is going crazy, we can go over here and we can be like, hey, you remember ore processing that we put on pause? Let's unpause that, because now we can afford to run it. I'm going to put an acceleration card here as well, make it pull items a little bit more quickly. So it is, we just have copper over here right now. I processed most of our other stuff. But there it goes, doing copper. Oh, and I need to turn Naquita, enriched Naquita processing back on. So enriched Naquita ingots, put you back in here so that you can continue extracting. I had paused that because we were having power problems. That's going to also cause ingots to cook. Let me go over here and turn this process on. That's going to start processing Naquita again. Oh, and you know what? We could also upgrade this. We could definitely upgrade this chemical reactor to what's it called? ZPM power, if we wanted to. I don't really feel like we need to, but it is a thing we could do. And how much power are we doing now? Look at that. We still have a power surplus. That's amazing. Okay. Well, awesome progress. I am glad to see that we now have a power surplus in all situations where it matters. So that is very, very exciting. Our fuel is going down very fast, though. We might need to address bottlenecks over here very soon. But it's okay, because once our power is full, it's going to throttle the fuel usage, so it's only going to use fuel as it needs. So we will see, I guess, in long term if our fuel production is up to snuff or not. Right now, we are currently using this recipe times 2, so we're using 585 times 2 every 5 seconds. So we are using 234 per second. And I had said this one over here can make 3,000 every... It's bottlenecked by this process, so 1,000 divided by 144. And how long does this process take over here? Let me get my scanner to see how many ticks it takes. Scanner, scanner, scanner. There it is. This process is 132 ticks, so that is times 132 divided by 20. That is 45 seconds to run this once. So 45 seconds to get 3,000. So 3,000 divided by 45. That is 66%. So we are on a deficit if we are only getting our enriched naquita from over here. We are on a deficit. Some options we could do... You know, I was kind of thinking, maybe we would like a multi-block extractor anyways. What does the multi-block extractor look like? Okay, that seems reasonable. Let's put one of these together. I would like one because our extractor over here is frequently a bottleneck. In fact, you can see I have a energy orb cluster over here because I was having to tick accelerate it because it was going rather slow sometimes. All right, let's do a extractor. So that's gonna take some watertight casings. About 40 of those, so watertight casings. Oh, we already have that. Okay, cool. We're going to need... Oh, it's a canning machine and an extractor. Okay, we don't really need the canning machine functionality, so I'm just going to worry about the extractor. I will make a new canning machine, though. So canning machine. I'm going to leave that one in place until we're actually ready to put it into our recipe. Basically, let's go build out the whole multi-block. Where would we like to put it? I feel like we've kind of used a lot of stuff over here already. What are our channels looking like over here? I could have it underneath. Like, why not? There's space down here. It's not too big. Right? It's a 3x3? Yeah, it's a 3x3. It would fit in this space, no problem. And then we could hook it up to the channels coming off of this line here, which we have a lot of extra channels. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do it over here between our engraver and our mixer. So we also needed pipe casings, 2 of those go on the inside. Okay, looks like a pretty straightforward pattern. So how big is it? 5? 5 wide, so. Here we go. It's gonna go like that. All right, the pipe casings go... Where are the pipe casings stuck? Steel ingots. Oh, you know what? It's probably the enriched naquita clogging the EVF over here. Enriched naquita, can you let my steel ingots go, please? I was having this problem earlier as well. It was just like non-stop crafting these. And that goes into the 2-hatch, so the 2-hatch isn't blocking mode, so it just keeps going until it's satisfied. Okay, let's take this out of here temporarily so it stops crafting those. Cancel that job. Steel ingot. Can you just make like 2,000 steel ingots? That would be awesome. Yo, how's our iron? How is iron like something we still have a low amount of? Like, look at copper. Copper we have 300,000. Tin we have 50,000. Gold we have 400,000. What the heck? But iron is like over there under 10,000. That's odd. All right, this steel is crafting very quickly. Yeah, okay, we've probably made enough steel. All right, let's put our Naquita back in here. Enrich Naquita. I'll just have 2 crafting at a time. Okay. We can get rid of this flux point. Or I should say, we can just ambiguate it and put it in our storage. Alright, we were up here building our multi-block. Let's finish that. So we got our pipe casings now. Okay, I'm just going to fill in the rest of our multi-block here. I really squeezed it in between all of these pipes, didn't I? Like, I probably don't have any business having it actually be this close. Okay, so let's do a ME output hatch, because this is only going... No, it can make items too, actually, now that I think about it, right? So let's do ME output hatch and a bus. We're going to do both of them. And we can just hook these into this cable that is right here. And then extractor, does extractor take fluids? No, it only takes items. So for our input bus, we can basically move down what we have upstairs directly. So we can put an input hatch right there. Input bus, rather. Input bus. We'll use a nice big EV input bus for that. And then let me just go grab the... Alright, I always try to use that elevator, forgetting it doesn't work. I can just go grab that interface once I'm actually ready to set it up. But first, let me... Oh my gosh, I'm lost. Here we go. Getting lost in your own base, be like. Alright, so when I put the controller in here, this block should be done. Oh, no. We need the what's it called? The power hatches still. Okay, what's going on up here? This is 2x stellar alloy wire. 2x stellar. That's a 24 amp cable. So we can use 2 IV energy hatches. IV energy. I somehow don't have any of those. I'll just use 2 4 amp hatches. Because this is using 16, then that would use up to the rest of the... Yeah, that should be good. Up to the rest of the amps that are available on that line. And I'm just going to use... Oh, I can't use Terra Steel. I need to use a 24 amp line. Well, we know... okay, so you shouldn't do this, but I know that no matter what, only 2 amps, or only 8 amps are going to come down this cable, so this should not burn out in theory. But that is kind of a spicy thing to do, hooking up a 2 amp cable to a smaller cable. So just be careful if you ever do that. Also, I'm pretty sure this cable is electrocuted if I were to jump up there and rub my face on it. Okay, maybe not. I don't know. Okay, and we also need our parallel hatch. I'm going to make the LUV parallel hatch. Alright, so once that parallel hatch is done, we can take our current extractor down and we can... Yeah, see, it's doing glowstone right now. We can take this extractor down, move the interface, and... Actually, we're not going to want to move the interface. We're going to make a new interface because we're not going to need a dual interface down there. We just need a regular interface. So interface, smart cable. We can go ahead and set that up while this parallel hatch is crafting. Okay, you are... This is not an interface. What are you doing? That's a point-to-point interface. Interface. That's an interface. Okay. This is extract multi-block. Okay. And we should have channels over here. So extract multi-block, you are all good to go. You do not need blocking mode. Parallel hatch is still going? I guess so. Oh, great. It's fighting the EBF again for the enriched Naquita. We're gonna have to figure that out, huh? Because this enriched Naquita is just going in here non-stop. It is like, yo, we need enriched Naquita, by the way. Okay, stop making enriched Naquita for a second. Again. So let those finish, and then our Samarium should cook up. Yeah, it's kind of a problem, isn't it? At the 0-point matrix, we definitely need to look into 0-point matrix, because that can make our... We can use that... Oh, we need Holorogium crystal as well. That sounds a little gross. Anyways, we can use this to make the enriched Naquita much quicker. Alright, is our Samarium done? How much Naquita are you cooking, my guy? Why are you taking so long? Oh, it's just doing the circuits, okay. It does take an LUV emitter and an LUV sensor. That's quite expensive. I'm going to come back once it's done crafting. Alright, our hatch is done. Let's stick it on there. Bloop. And now we just need our extractor. So let me go and... We can go in here, extractor, large extracting machine. We can go ahead and auto-craft everything we need here except the canning machine. Let me... Right, that needed circuits. Okay. We need to remake our canning machine there. That might take a second. Let me accelerate our circuit assemblers here. That'll help it out a little bit. There we go. Get our canning machine. Hello? Where did the piston I requested go? Okay, now I can't see anything. There we go. Okay. The jar lead extractor. We have... Did I make the extractor? Oh no, I meant to make a canning machine. Gosh darn it. That's why, that would explain why the stuff I had, suddenly we didn't have it anymore. Okay, well, I'm gonna have an extra elite extractor, I guess. Because I didn't already have one down here. Oh my goodness. Okay. Elite canning machine. Alright, now what do we need for this guy? We need one more pump. Mildly irritating. And then it goes and puts my circuit in the other machine. Alright, cool. There we go. We are set to extractor mode. Multi-block does not support distinct buses. I wouldn't imagine how it would. Like, why would that matter? Alright, this should be good to go. Now, if we just move all of our extractor patterns down here, we no longer need you. We no longer need this interface. Come here, patterns. Alright, cool. So now if we want like a whole ton of redstone, for instance, redstone, oh wait, that's right, we can request drops here. I just need to take my view cell out. Big lag. Okay, there we go. So redstone drops if I wanted like 100,000 buckets of it for some reason, or 100 buckets of it. See how fast that goes. Oh yeah, that is like eons faster than what it was doing before. I kind of wish it could do higher parallels though. Because right now it's only taking 1 amp of LUV through here, even though we're getting it 2 amps. We would need to change our power setup here for that. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it for right this second. But yeah, there we go. Nice and quick extractor. Now what we are going to do, instead of extracting on that single block down there, we are going to take this away. And then we are going to go to our item, or fluid filter over here. Wait. Yeah, this fluid filter. You don't have a fluid filter. Okay, we're going to go to our fluid filter over here. What's our insert? Yellow? On yellow, we need to put the filter first before I flip through a bunch of things. Oh, I'm in item again. Whoops. Okay. Item, stay red. We want enriched naquita. In liquid enriched naquita. That is what we want, right? Yes. Okay. So insert on yellow. Excellent. And then here we are going to bring in liquid enriched naquita. Not yet though, because I want to put it in our one thingamajiggy. We want to put it up here. You get this from the ingots. For now, we will change this to our dust later once we have the ZPM machine. The 0-point matrix. Yeah, that's what ZPM stands for. There we go. Enriched naquita. And last thing to do, one more thing, is to make some. So enriched. Let me do it in the fluid terminal. Drop of enriched naquita. Make a little bit, please. That's going to be roughly the same speed. Well, it's going to be double the same speed of what we did in the extractor down below, but when we parallelize it, it's going to be doing them much quicker. Oh, and you know, whoops, apparently I paused my recording right there. So I made that drop of liquid naquita, enriched naquita, and I put it over in my fluid maintainers over here. Here it is. It is now maintaining fluid naquita. I changed the recipe. I don't remember if this was caught on the camera because it was like actually minutes ago at this point. I changed my recipe in the extractor. It uses a 16 scaled recipe over here so that it can, what's it called? It can just be 16 at a time and not doing one ingot at a time. And when it does 16 at a time, I went and I watched it process. Hang on, it's down in our basement. I watched it process 16 at a time, and it took 13 seconds to do that, which is awesome. That's very fast. It's exactly what we wanted to see. And now we are cooking with our liquid enriched naquita down here. We should now have a surplus of gas, fuel, maybe, I don't know, 350,000. We'll see where we are in a little bit. We're still making, we're using more fuel. We're making more power than we're using at the moment, which is good. That's what we want to see. But yeah, we'll take a look at this. How about I pause recording for a little while and I will come back and let's see if we have lost or gained fuel. So be back soon, because for the most part, I think I'm done with this episode. Probably gonna wrap it up here. Alright, update. It's been about 5 minutes and we are down 30 buckets of fuel. Which isn't great, but our power storage over here, it's gonna be full in a little while. So, I mean, when we run out of fuel, we, like, run out of fuel. And it's not, like, the end of the world. We're just, you know, out of fuel. I could also set up our GPSs to feed directly into these input hatches, and instead of having this intermediary drum, that would save us 32 plus 64 buckets of stuff that is just in the, I guess, it doesn't matter because it's not really like, it's not spread between multiple generators at the moment. But yeah, you can see we were at 320-ish before I walked over here. Now we're at 317, 316. This is running much more consistently, though. I don't think this is our bottleneck, though. I think our bottleneck is still the enriched naquita, because this is making... should be making enough, right? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it sits here and idles to wait for the liquid naquita after it finishes this recipe. It's going to wait. Yeah, see? It's waiting for a liquid naquita. So that's going to take a while before this equilibrates. We're going to need to fill that up. I'm going to come back again in a little bit, and we'll see where we are sitting here. It is currently 30 after on the clock for me, so I'll see where I am after this. Okay, back for our final chicken. It's been another 6 minutes since our chicken, and we have lost another, what's that, like 50 buckets? So, slowly going down. Really, 2 EBFs just cannot keep up with that, so the 0-point matrix, probably something we want to look into making soonish, but that does require ZPM stuff, so I'm probably going to just prepare enough fuel here for us to be able to survive, and then we are going to go straight into looking into upgrading our assembly line to ZPM machines. I want to make the what's it called? Data bank as well, so that we don't have to juggle data cards. I think I have a circuit assembler. No, I'm going to need a circuit assembler for the data orb. And then the circuit assembler we also need for the large circuit assembly anyways, so let me go ahead and request one of those up. But yeah, next time we will be working on probably setting up some additional assembly lines, and then I will make some europium between episodes, so I will just go over here and I'm going to take our liquid helium and our starlight out of here, and then I'm going to put the stuff to make europium, which I guess is hydrogen, and liquid neodymium. So hopefully we have lots of neodymium. We have 24,000. Yeah, no problem. I will have to cook it, though, to make it molten, I believe. Can't just extract the dust directly. Yep. So that's going to take a minute to cook up those neodymiums, but it won't be too bad. Anyways, that's going to do it for this episode. If you're enjoying the series, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Next time, we will do databank. Another assembly line. And we'll look into the steps that we need for the 0-point matrix. I might also need to go get the horologium, what's it called? This thing, celestial crystal. Where is our celestial crystals? Something's going on over here, because I'm pretty sure I had more than 110 rock crystals over here, and now we're out. So, I don't know what happened. Anyways, that's gonna be it. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.